Hello students, welcome to economics class. In the last classes, we have discussed topics like consequences of unemployment, consequences of poverty, then poverty alleviation programs, and also share of public sector and private sector in GDP. And even today's topic is also related with the unit number 3, that is national income, poverty and unemployment. So let us see what is the name of the topic. Causes of income and wealth inequalities. Causes of income and wealth inequalities, which is very important topic for 10 marks. So before learning the causes of income and wealth inequalities, let us first see the actual definition of income and wealth inequalities. So the disparities in the distribution of income and wealth. Disparity means partiality, or you can say not equal, imbalanced. When two things are not equal, then you say that there is a disparity between them. For example, I am serving you food. Okay, there are two students in front of me. For one student, I am giving 2 chapatis, and for one student, I am giving only 1 chapati. That means I am doing disparity between 2 students. So disparity means not equal. So disparities in the distribution of income and wealth among different sections of rich and poor. So basically we are discussing about what are the disparities which are arising in the distribution of income and wealth between whom? Between the rich people as well as the poor people. So how poor people are suffering and how rich people are becoming rich, we'll learn the causes here. Let us see the first one, inequalities of land ownership. Inequalities of land ownership. So before we go through this topic, knowing the importance of zamindari system is very important. Like what is actually zamindari system? For example, if I'm a small farmer, okay, I'm a small farmer and I have lots of land, but what the zamindars, naughty zamindars, what they have done, they have seized all of my land and gave very little part to me, and they treated me as a slaves. From morning to night I need to work for them, and in return I used to get very meager wages, very less wages. So in this manner they used to exploit me in the sense small farmers. So zamindars used to exploit our innocent poor farmers by occupying their land and making them work unlimitless from morning to night and giving very less wages for them. That is called as zamindari system, which is a very dangerous and harmful system at the time of independence, before independence. So before independence we have abolished zamindari system. Abolished in the sense we have completely removed zamindari system from our country. So even after the abolition of zamindari system before independence, again there was one more cousin of this zamindari system, you can say, which have come after independence. So who is the cousin of the zamindari system? That is concentration of land ownership. Okay, the huge landlords, they used to occupy the lands of these small farmers and make them work as slaves. The same like zamindari system, but the name is different. Okay, the title is zamindari system here and the title is land ownership. So before independence zamindari system was there, but after independence land ownership is there. So anyhow both of this concentration of land ownership are very harmful for us, and this cannot be broken. Alright. If this is the main head, then we got one cousin for that. If this is going, then again some other person will be occupying the land. So in this manner, we were not successful in breaking this land ownership, because of which it is creating income and wealth inequalities. The rich are getting more income, whereas the poor are not getting minimum needs also. Even minimum food they cannot buy with that limited wages which these persons are giving them. So is it not creating an inequality? Because of what? What is the main reason why the inequalities are occurring? It's because of land ownership. So first point of income and wealth inequalities is land ownership. Coming to second one, concentration of assets in private sector. Concentration of assets in private sector. Let us see. Extreme concentration of massive assets in private sector. What is this private sector actually? Which is not under the control of government. That means private entrepreneurs, large industrialists, large businessmen, large merchants, they are working under private sector and they are having massive assets, means very huge and big assets. Assets, it may be anything. It may be related with machinery, it may be related with money, it may be related with capital, it may be related with technology. So who is having more concentrated amount of assets? The private sector, not the public sector. Who is working under private sector? Large industrialists, and they are getting easy availability of finance. In order to start any business, I need finance. Am I right or not? For example, if I want to start a restaurant, I have a good plan. Okay, I have made the design of the building. I have just planned how many workers to keep, which chefs should I keep, how much will be my expenditure, what kind of furniture should I keep. I have made everything as a plan in my mind. But unless and until I have money in my pocket, that means unless and until I have finance with me, my idea of opening a restaurant will be not successful. So in order to make a plan successful, what we need? Finance, which the large industrialists were getting in a very easy manner. How? Through banks. They are getting finance through banks with little rate of interest. Then from financial institutions means which will provide loans, assistance for the business entrepreneurs, means those who are new entrepreneurs without any experience, they will be providing them financial assistance. Then easily they are getting finance from banks and financial institution besides equity capital which they raise from the public. You did not understood this point, like what is equity capital, madam? So let me give you an example. Like same, let us take the example of opening or starting a restaurant. For that, imagine I need some 2 lakhs of rupees. How much I need? Rupees 2 lakhs for starting my business. But unfortunately I have 1,50,000. I am having some 1.5 lakhs. Okay, 1.5 lakhs means 1,50,000. So 50,000 is less. Now I have taken loan from bank and I have also received help from the financial institutions. I have also asked my relatives and even I have invested, and the total amount which I have gathered is 1.5 lakhs. But remaining 50,000 from where should I get? I'll offer public to invest in my company. Whenever I'll get profits, I'll give you double amount. For example, if you give me 10,000, when I get profit, I'll give you 15,000. Okay, in this way, I'll attract public to invest in my company. whenever I'll get profits, I'll give you some extra amount. So this is called as equity capital. So large industrialists are getting finance from banks, from financial institutions, from equity share capital which they raise from the public. This is all we are discussing about whom? Private sector, that is large industrialists. Then what about our poor farmers? Okay, we are getting pity on them. No one is there to help them. They are under the trap of money lenders who are charging double, triple, exorbitant rate of interest for them, which even in their whole life they cannot repay. So isn't it creating inequalities? Yes. So what is the second point of income and wealth inequalities? Concentration of assets in private sector. Let us come to the third one. Inequalities in professional training. If someone wants to earn more income, then that person must have some professional skills. An literate person can earn more when compared to an illiterate person. For example, of an auto driver and an example of a doctor. Is there any difference in their salaries? Yes, there is a large difference. The income of the auto driver is very less, whereas the income of a doctor is very high. Why? Because it depends how much skills a person is having. Okay, you must have some professional training and professional skills. So in a class society like ours, okay, in a society like ours, training for professional competence is not available, because nowadays there is a lot of competition. Whichever sector you may go, if you are going in company, IT companies, lot of competition is there. Okay, there are persons with extracurricular activities who are having excellent communication skills. Okay, so you need to be having a competition between you, right? In IT sector you see, or in educational field you see, whichever field, if you want to become a doctor, number of persons are writing exams, lot of competition is there. But are we having the training? Are we having the training for professional competence? No, training for professional competence is not available, which is a root cause. Root cause means the main cause. If I cut the tree but I did not remove the roots, that means still that problem is there underground. Completely we have not solved the one problem. So what is the third cause? Inequalities in professional training. Let us go with the fourth point, that is inflation. So what is the meaning of inflation, which we have read in your first year? That increase in the prices of commodities or rise in the prices of commodities. For example, 80 rupees commodity you are getting at 100 rupees. Okay, so is it a rise in the price? Yes. So prices are rising continuously, that is called as inflation. So it is a great loss for the income of the working class, like the persons who are daily wages, who will be getting their salary daily or weekly or monthly basis. They are affected a lot. There is a loss for the persons who are working in working class because of inflation, because whatever they are producing, if the prices are very high, obviously the customer will not buy it, because customer will always choose a product which is at comparatively lesser cost. For example, if the prices of red color marker of Camlin company are very high, then people will search for the same red color marker of another company with some less prices. What a customer will do always, he'll try to buy commodities at less prices. So it is a loss for the income of working class, whereas this same inflation have benefited others also. Now you might have getting a doubt that, madam, who will be getting benefited from inflation? Because inflation is such a kind of problem that everyone will be having problem from it. But how some people are getting benefited? Let us see. There are huge industrialists and traders who are having large marketable surplus. If they sell the commodities because their business is in large scale, for example, Lux company, people use many of the people use soaps and many of the other items like shampoos, etc. you use for this company because you are habituated. Like suddenly you won't change your soap, suddenly you won't change your oil, suddenly you won't change your shampoos because you are habituated for that. And such kind of branded products are made by industrialists and traders whose business is in large scale. So they are getting large marketable surplus. If we are increasing the prices and selling also, people will buy it. So obviously when a commodity of 10 rupees, if I am selling at 15 rupees, 5 rupees is profit for me. Just back of one customer. Imagine that 50,000 customers have purchased my commodity at 15 rupees. So 50,000 into 5, nearly 250 extra money I am getting from each customer. Am I right? So it is benefited for industrialists and traders, whereas it is a loss for the working class. So again we are getting income and wealth inequalities. Because of which reason? Because of inflation, which is our fourth point. Coming to the fifth one, inequity in credit facilities. Credit means giving loans, providing loans. Means present transaction you are willing to pay in future. For example, if you take loan from me, obviously you will not pay me now, you will pay after some time. So this is called credit based transaction. We are giving something based on the commitment that we will pay in future. That is the meaning of credit facilities. So business firms and individuals have easy access to finance, have very easy access, means easily they are getting finance under favorable terms. Favorable terms means easily they are getting, that too with less rate of interest. So this is benefited for business firms and individual. Whereas if we talk about small and marginal farmers, if I talk about agricultural laborers, if I talk about artisans, who are these people? Artisans means it is a skilled trade which requires handmade efforts. Means commodities will not be made by machines, instead it will be made by hand. So people who are engaged in this activity are artisans. Alright. So marginal farmers, agricultural laborers and artisans, they won't get money from financial institutions because they are very poor. Okay, whenever before giving the loan, we'll see the background of the person, whether he is having capacity to repay or not. If the person is too poor, no one will give loans for them because he may not pay in future. So there is only one person who will be giving loan, even if you are poor or rich. How much money you want, unlimited money that person will give, whereas banks will not give unlimited money as loans. So who are those persons? Those are money lenders. So money lenders will be giving unlimited money for them, but at a very high rate of interest, which is a loss for them. Even if I get unlimited money with high rate of interest, if I take 2 lakhs, I need to pay 5 lakhs in return. So how come our poor farmers, how come our agricultural laborers, how come they repay it? They will be coming into debts. Okay. So it is a problem for small and marginal farmers, agricultural laborers and artisans. Hence it is creating inequality in credit facilities. Coming to next point, urban bias in private investment. Nearly 70% of the population, how much? 70% of the population is living in rural areas. They are living where? In rural areas. So out of 100, 70 are in rural areas. That means in urban areas how many percent? 30%. So where the population is more? Rural areas. But unfortunately, most of the private investment is concentrated in urban areas rather than rural areas. Am I right or not? For example, there are two persons, person A and person B. Okay, they are having plates with each other. Okay, they are having plates and I am serving food to them. For A, I am keeping less amount of food which is not sufficient. But for B, I am giving enough food plus I am giving one more plate extra. One plate I am giving plus one more plate extra and one more plate extra I am giving for the person B. Whereas for person A, I am not giving enough food to eat for one time. So am I doing inequality? Yes. So where the persons are more, there you need to concentrate more. Where the persons are less, no need to concentrate. Anyhow they will be getting developed. This is, imagine that this is the poor area and this is as a rich area. Rich people are already rich. No need to make them more rich. Instead, concentrate on the poor people, make their lives better into a normal class life. So that is not happening over here. So maximum of our private investment is going to urban areas even though the population is less, whereas the population is more in rural areas, but they are not getting anything. Coming to the last point, role of the government. Government have committed liberalization and privatization, which is another cause for inequality. You might be hearing these words for the first time, liberalization and privatization. Liberalization means free trade without any barriers. Alright, if you visit any village area with no proper roads, if you are riding a vehicle because there is no proper roads, all are kacha roads with lot of speed breakers, then your condition will be, you will be just shaking like this, right? So they are creating problem in your way. But whereas in cities, you are having clean roads, you can go very smoothly. So liberalization means without any speed breakers, without any barriers, you can do your business. So it has created number of problems which we'll discuss in our 8th unit. What is privatization? Transfer of ownership from public sector to private sector. Means public limited companies and industries are removed and converted into private industry. So again private people are benefiting from that. Government is not benefiting. When government will benefit, it will help the poor. But because it is not getting benefited, because public units are converted into private, which is called as privatization, it is one more cause for the inequalities. So in total, we have discussed 7 inequalities. Which inequalities? Income and wealth inequalities, which is very important 10 marks topic. In the next class, we'll probably discuss what are the measures to solve income and wealth inequalities. See you in the next class with some new on more topics. Till that, stay home, stay healthy and stay safe. Never stop practicing.